All right, guys, welcome back. Cody will be back in a minute here, guys. He's just stuck upstairs for a second or two. Wanted to give a shout out here as I was leaving there. Kitsanth, follow the channel. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. You will get yourself a 10% off discount code whispered to you by us very, very shortly. So thank you for that. We appreciate it. Puts us at, I believe, 98 followers. So we're close to that 100 mark. Let's get there. Get there tonight, guys. Come on now. Tonight. This round we're going to have Cody on our left. He is playing Eldrazi and Taxes. Similar to Nicola's deck. I don't think it's the exact same deck, but it might be. Not sure. On the right, we have Jay, who is playing Tron. Rift Hunters, we are in Niagara Falls, Canada, right near the border, so we can, yeah, all the nice tourist attractions here, plus us. So, yeah, so Jay, a longtime player. He hasn't come out very often anymore. He now has to do adult things, which is no fun. But been playing Tron a long time. Oh, good to know. Yeah, Vancouver I hear has a very, very large player base for Magic and stuff. So, Morris, thank you very much for following as well. That puts us at, I believe, 99 now. One more. Come on, someone not following. Give us that follow. Give us that 100 mark tonight. Sheepbane as well. I did see your comment. Happy New Year's, Merry Christmas to you as well, sir. We appreciate that. It's good to see you tuning in tonight. Always like seeing you here. So yeah, as we're saying, we have Eldrazi and Taxes versus Tron.
Sweet. Wait, so, is it Nicola?
No, this is Cody. He is borrowing, I believe,
Nicola's
Jesse's deck. No, Jesse's deck, actually.
Why do we have so many of those?
That deck took off popularity all of a sudden, so. So yeah, who do you like in this matchup, Tron or...
Tron.
Yeah, Tron over Taxes? Sure.
The thing is that Tron's just doing more broken things.
Sure.
And I don't think the Taxes lines up particularly well against it. It's for Jay.
Oh. Yeah, so, yeah, Jay also, I was saying, a long-time player. We just don't get to see him very often on camera, or in general.
He
playing here.
has a son.
He has a son now, yes. He has a new, I wouldn't say, probably newborn still, you could say, right? Not super newborn.
How long has it been? It feels like it's been forever at this
He's not
point.
a year old, right? He's not even a year old yet. He's still pretty young. But yeah, Jay, a new father, so congratulations to him, of course, and his wife, Kim.
Yeah, relatively new father. We're not...
Yeah, relatively new father.
We're not
like,
clear on the vocabulary we're supposed to be using.
He didn't, like, ditch her to come play Magic tonight, and she got a little labor, but...
Although I would appreciate that dedication.
So, Eldrazi and Taxes, yeah, it probably is just too slow.
It might not be. Like, the biggest...
If Jay keeps, like, a one-threat hand, and he gets, like, a Thought Knot early off before he gets to, slam the threat, it can turn him off.
I think the biggest... I think that the path to victory for Cody is going to be Leonin Arbiter Ghost Quarter.
That's a good one. That's a pretty good line.
Or just Ghost Quarter. The fact that he plays Ghost Quarters is pretty good.
Yeah. Jay's on a roll of 5 as well. That's also a good way to win.
Yeah. Tron will do that.
Yeah. Yeah,
With great power comes great responsibility.
I used to be a very avid Tron player myself.
Why don't you just pick Tron back up?
You think?
Yeah, it's not a bad deck. You just change the color scheme to match the format.
That's possible.
Like, I mean, you have so many reps with it, and as much as we like to joke, like, player skill does matter in Tron as well.
I know.
So
I know my Tron.
I'm just gonna let Ryan do most of the commentating actually, because he knows his Tron.
I do. No, we are not going to San Jose. I do not believe. It was posted in our Facebook group.
Yeah, that was Kyle, right?
Yeah, Kyle did make that post. I believe Jay is still on Red-Green Tron. Jay, you can't threaten us. We're not afraid of you. I could be mistaken, though. It looks like Jay might be on green-white now, though. I could be wrong still, though. I'm not entirely sure. So
I'm pretty sure it's green-white.
yeah, Jay does have a very nice looking deck as well.
Oh yeah, Jay's decks are always nice to look at.
Yeah, he has the beautiful foil Tron lands. Those lands are gorgeous in foil. A Thalia on turn 2 for Cody is going to kind of slow things down here. Jay has a turn 2 Relic of Progenitus that he has to pay 2 mana for.
Yeah, but he has 2 Tron pieces as well.
He does. Yeah, he has Tower and he has Power Plant at the moment. So
This is also why Jay plays Tron.
yeah, well,
The
it
Tron
doesn't-
lands, they
doesn't
love
draw
him.
as good as me, but you know. Now the biggest problem, he doesn't have a third land. He can't play this Talisman, which is a little unfortunate. So.
He has Path in his hand, so he can cycle the Chromatic Sphere and be able to path the Thalia if that's a line he wants to take.
Yeah, absolutely
Um,
possible.
Yeah, that
He is an Ugin as well.
yeah, that Talisman's looking mighty good if he's able to stick that.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it so that the next if he draws the Tron land, he's gonna be able to just cast
When
Ugin.
when he finds his mine. Tide Hollow Sculler's gonna have something to say about that. It looks like he's there's
Okay,
no path.
there's no path.
Yeah.
It's Wormcoil Engine.
Wormcoil, Sylvan Scrying, Ugin, and a I don't know what the talisman's called, to be honest.
So
Talisman
Jay's
of Progression. Or
on a
something
little
like
bit of a clock, but if he finds another Tron piece in the next couple turns, he'll be fine.
that. Yeah, that's the thing about that's the thing with Tron. You know, you can get behind, but then one play something like an Ugin, something like a Wormcoil Engine, can catch you right back.
Oh,
down.
you always get behind.
Yeah. Well,
No, not always, I guess.
you just have natural Tron every time. You're fine.
I mean, Jay gets a lot of looks at.
Yeah, he's gonna have a draw here with his Relic of Progenitus. Doesn't really serve a lot of purpose.
It's a cycle.
Yeah, it is Exile, which is key against Eldrazi and taxes.
What did he find?
Not sure.
That looked like a Tron land.
That is
Oh,
a
baby.
Tron. That is a mine.
We did it.
We're turned on, boys.
Yeah, you probably are.
I know I am. So there is and there's the Path to Exile, of course. Can Cody play that? Did
He
not
cannot
just play
now,
titles?
yeah.
He can't play that. We have to stop that. Oh, it's too late now. Probably Jay's searching, but he's just played through his own Thalia, which he cannot play.
All right.
Okay. All right. We're just gonna rewind. It was can't make that play, obviously. I mean, there's a good chance that he just does it on his own turn, anyways.
Yeah, he's definitely going to. That Wormcoil is too much.
So
Like,
it's
there's
not. It's not going to change.
Well, it does make Cody spend 2 mana.
It does.
That's
of
very
course.
important.
It's not going to change what Jay's line is, though, in terms of getting a land not and drawing a card, because that there's not going to be a draw in between this.
Yeah. Now that I look at this matchup's probably pretty rough for Jay.
Do you think?
And just the presence of Ghost Quarter and all these like taxing effects that slow you a little bit further down.
Ghost Quarter is brutal.
Yeah.
That card is very, very good against Tron. So there is the path. Sure enough, going to get fired off still.
Jay's a land away from just slamming Ugin and winning the game, though.
Yeah, he is that.
The forest gives him the third
8th
land.
mana. He needs
or
one
fourth,
mana, and that's gonna one land.
Any kind of land is just that's it.
Yeah.
Lights out. I don't think there's any chance for
I don't-
this Taxes deck to beat.
Can it fight a Planeswalker? Like
I don't
Ugin?
think it can. Not Ugin. Oh.
That's a spicy one coming up next, though. Don't worry. He found one.
Well,
We're
it's
good.
Tron land.
We're good.
Okay, boys, wrap this one up.
Yep, we're good here. That's 9 mana. There's Ugin.
We're good here. This one has to exile. It goes down 2.
It goes down 2. Goodbye Thalia. Goodbye Tide Hollow. Welcome back. Sylvan's Scrying.
Yeah, this is over.
I think it is Alpha. Jay has a lot of old lands.
Yeah, Jay's
Again, his decks are
an
gorgeous. to look at.
aficionado.
I love looking at Jay's
He
decks.
has a mana floating or no?
No, because Ugin costs 9 instead of 8. So,
Right.
but he does get to play a Chromatic Sphere for 1. So take that, Thalia.
Yeah.
I don't.
This is why Tron's so powerful. Jay mulligan to 5, and this game is over.
Yeah, I don't like Cody's chances anymore.
You don't
No,
play
like-
the Tron lands to
It's a
not
beta
draw
forest. We've been corrected.
them. Okay.
He does have alpha ones. I'm fairly certain at home somewhere though.
Probably locked in a vault. That's for Baby Jay's college fund.
That's where Baby Jay's call. It's fun. Okay. Cody gonna take a read at Ugin. We'll have a look here as well.
Do you think he reads it and just concedes?
There's potential for that.
Like, oh, this can lightning bolt all my guys? Yeah, I lose. Like, it's not even the issue that like Cody's deck is like poorly positioned to deal damage. It's not. It's the fact that Ugin is very good at protecting itself.
Tron Kits at this point is a top deck beast. It certainly can be.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you mean can be? It is.
I've had my fair share of top decks.
Yeah, you sure have. I think you're just gonna stick a worm coil here, which seems like a good line. Oh,
World Breaker's good too.
excellent.
So there is the Spirit Dragon. Fun fact: this is Samantha's favorite card.
Nice.
Moving the Spirit
Why?
Dragon.
Because he has a silly head.
He does have a silly head. But yeah, World Breaker also a good one. One of the cards that kind of shifted in from the new set when Oath of the Gatewatch came out.
Yeah, it wasn't really noticed until
Shifted away from
Eldrazi was not a deck anymore.
Emrakul.
Yeah.
Instead focused
Well,
on...
Eye of Ugin got banned.
Yeah, the Eye of Ugin actually didn't hurt it that much,
Yes,
to be
it did.
fair.
You can
See-
search it too.
Yeah, that I will say is unfortunate, yes. Losing the search ability. However, shifted more to Nulamog, as he's referred to. And World Breaker. Does just hoses your opponent.
Yeah, World Breaker is a really solid card in this deck.
The second copy of Thalia in Cody's hand, not so good.
Why not?
Jay's got 10 mana.
The taxing effect not so good anymore?
No, probably not. And yeah, Jay takes a game 1 on a multi 5. Doesn't even look back.
Power of Tron on full display.
Tron is a deck. So moving into the sideboard, he has a couple copies. He's looking at Warping Whale,
It's a fine one.
Yeah.
I think that gets all of Cody's deck, if not most of it.
little Thrag
Won't
Tusk
get
action.
the Eldrazi, but it'll get everything else.
Little Thrag Tusk
I like
action.
Thrag Tusk too, yeah, that's fine.
Thalia doesn't beat it, that's for sure.
I don't think any of Cody's deck really beats it. The thing with this Taxes deck is that when decks go over the top of it, it's really hard for that deck to win.
Yeah,
Like the Taxes deck, as much as Death and Taxes in Legacy is very, very good against combo decks, it's not the same in Modern. Like this Death and Taxes deck is much better against like the slower combo decks, like Ad Nauseum, stuff like that, where it's a more consistent combo, but it takes longer to set up. If decks go over the top, like big mana decks, this Death and Taxes deck really does struggle with that.
Yep.
But the trade-off is that like Legacy Death and Taxes isn't particularly great against like creature matchups, like mid-rangey Deathrite Shaman, those kind of thing, Bug Delver. But this deck, the Death and Taxes deck in Modern, actually has some game there.
looks like Jay took a copy, at least one copy of Karn. Took out a copy of Sylvan Scrying.
Not sure about the scrying, but okay with the Karn.
He was looking at cards like Warping Whale, Path to Exile in his sideboard.
Path is fine. Path is a fine
great.
card. Yeah.
Thrag Tusk we already mentioned.
Yeah.
He did have other cards I'm not entirely sure. I didn't get a great.
I can't
read.
imagine he has like specific silver bullets for the Hate Bears matchup.
No.
Um,
I mean, you're already really far ahead against that matchup, anyways. Usually.
That's what we think, yeah. I have yet to see this actually get played. The Eldrazi Bears deck kind of became popular with the release of Eldrazi, obviously, and Tron kind of fell off for a bit because it was Eldrazi Winter.
When I was playing Tron, I played against a bunch against the green white Hate Bears deck before Eldrazi was really big, before it was even a thing really. And if they have that
The Ghost Quarter.
if they have the Ghost Quarter hand, especially with like Leon Arbiter, it's you don't win those games. Don't get me wrong. You'll never win those games.
Yeah, those are just I think you accept that as like the bad beats. This deck just happens to have a combination of cards that you can't beat.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even really need. They don't need the Leonin Arbiter at all.
No, Ghost Quarter is
Ghost
typically
Quarter reads
enough.
get one forest and then get nothing.
Yeah, it's typically enough on its own. The taxing part can matter early on if they have like an early Athalia. Because,
Yeah, we saw that really mess Jay up. Jay did
Yeah.
need to top deck a third land,
Yes.
specifically the Tron land, to really be in that game.
Yeah, but Jay, no sweat off his back. Just here it is, right on time. Should've
Tron's
windmilled it.
not a deck for people who get emotionally afflicted by variance.
Sure.
It's not like a good deck if you don't want to like, I need to top deck this and I hate this. I always want to be able to find the cards I need. Tron does have cards that search all of it what it needs, but eventually a lot of the games come down to just I need to top deck a threat or a land depending on the situation.
And I always did.
I mean, the deck's good at it. That's why it's playable. But like again, like it's just not a good deck for people who don't like variants. The same way the Grishol brand deck isn't for people who like don't like variants.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain decks in Modern that reward you for having the ability to just be like, yeah, I drew really bad and I lose. And some decks are actively built just to prevent that situation, like Jund. Jund is basically for players who just hate never being able to play. Like, you're almost always going to be able to play as Jund, but you're never really a favorite.
Game 2 here. Players looking at their opening 7. Yeah, Jay also used to play a lot of Grishol brand. Did not like the deck in the end of it all, but
He definitely liked it. I just think
inconsistency.
he felt Tron was more consistent.
Tron is great.
They both do kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So both players kept their 7. Cody led off on his Eldrazi Temple, which is a great start for him. Jay has a Horizon Canopy here into an Ancient Stirrings. So we'll pull that up here. Ancient Stirrings is one of the better cards in the Tron deck. It just basically says, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and pick one, put it into your hand a lot of the time. Looks like our card fetcher a little slow tonight, so there it is. So single green, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Put a colorless card from amongst them into your hand. Reveal it, and there you go. Leonin Arbiter for Cody.
Well, that's step 1.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Cody, Jay didn't lead on Expedition map specifically.
Yeah. Dragonstorm sounds like a fun deck to play in Modern.
It was fun.
Yeah. Now,
It did exist.
For Cody's argument here, though, Jay did have a copy of Sylvan Scrying in it that he could not cast.
Yeah, true.
Pretty huge. We'll pull up the Arbiter here as it is going to be...
Cody has a Ghost Quarter.
Oh, that's
this game is
good.
we're going to game 3.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good thing for Jay.
This matchup's very, like, if it seems like we're saying it's over quickly, it's because this matchup's heavily dependent on early turns.
This is not bad, though. He's going to get to Path to Exile the Arbiter. Cody won't be able to search, obviously. Jay will be able to search now. Depends when Cody did this, mind you.
I believe Cody did this after it resolved.
Yeah, that's what it looks like here. He's already moved to Exile.
Which is a big mistake.
Yeah, that's pretty huge.
And it's not like there was, misinterpretation either. He moved it directly to Exile.
Yeah, and then said Ghost Quarter your land. So this looks pretty straightforward. Yep, and Jay will get his forest out of his deck. Cody needs to make sure that he's very clear when he's doing his actions like that, because an interaction like that specifically is very, very key, as this would have taken Jay off a land entirely. This is just going to change to a forest instead here. How did Cody get a land, though?
Doesn't Leonin Arbiter leave and then Path to Exile works?
Oh, is that how it works? Okay, sure.
I would assume so.
Okay.
Like you exile it and then you search a land. Bring up Path. It'd be easy to figure out.
Oh, that's lobbing it once, so I wouldn't be able to get to trigger that way.
Nah, it's the period, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Exile target creature, then.
All right. Well, Jay has a backup copy of the power plant, so.
Oh, it was hiding.
Well, he did. He revealed power plant off his first Ancient Stirrings, which tells me that he didn't have anything else good in the top 5. Unfortunately, had to take a duplicate land, which is never. It's not a bad thing because the first Ghost Quarter is going to go after anyways, and you have the second copy. So there's also the Sylvan Scrying coming down for Jay, so that's a very important card here in this matchup or in this deck. A great tool for this deck as it just finds a Tron piece. Coupled with things like Chromatic Sphere or Chromatic Star.
So if Cody doesn't have another Ghost Quarter, it looks like he has 3 Path to Exiles in his hand.
That's a lot of path.
If he doesn't have another Ghost Quarter, he needs to apply pressure.
Yes.
The Path to Exile is great against Jay's creature threats, but Jay's Planeswalkers will quickly overrun the game.
Yes.
Although Displacer is nice in the sense that it's colorless.
Yes.
So Ugin's Exile Clause doesn't work. Jay's going to have Tron. He has Ancient
His Lightning
Stirrings.
Bolt does.
Yes, the Lightning Bolt. That's what I was going to say. The Lightning Bolt unfortunately deals with it though. And the fact that Cody can't like add another Eldrazi threat onto the table is really problematic because Jay's now just so close to Tron. That's 3 Path and a Flicker Wisp.
I don't see a mine in his hand. There looks like there's a Chromatic Star you might be taking. I don't know if he possibly drew a mine for the turn. That'd be great.
He has another Ancient Stirring in his hand as well, I believe.
Oh, so he's
a heavy favorite to find the piece he needs, but
Ormcoil Engine. Okay, so that's not going to do much when it comes down. We know that.
No.
Yeah, that's another Ancient Stirring though, by the looks of it. So still no mine that I can see.
He found a map.
Warping Whale. Okay, the map's good.
Because he hasn't played his land this turn.
No,
so he can go
he's
land
gonna,
map.
He's going to play the tower, play the map off the tower, and then hope Cody doesn't have something like Leonin Arbiter. Which even still fine, he can still play through.
Yeah, it's
Just
just not
a
as
little more
easy.
awkward.
If Jay just naturally draws a Tron land and is able to cast Ugin, the game will end.
Yeah.
But he's actually under a lot of pressure. And the Horizon Canopy is awkward right now. Did he find it?
He just dug through 11 cards, right? So
I know, he had a lot of looks to find specifically mine and didn't see any of them, so...
Looks like there is still no...
Jay's very consciously making sure not to use Horizon Canopy, but I think at this point it doesn't change the clock.
Yeah, so there is the mine.
I guess he still gets to cast Wormcoil, but we know that's going to get dealt with.
Tron is assembled. For anyone that's not familiar with what Tron is when we're talking about it, it cycles around these 3 lands, Urza's Tower, Urza's Mine, Urza's Power Plant, that all tap to make a colorless mana, but if you have all 3 of them in play at the same time, they make a combined total of 7 mana. The Tower making 3, the Mine and the Power Plant both making 2.
Oh, here's the O-Stone.
Cody gonna have a read. We'll do the same here. This is the Wrath effect, you could say, for the colorless deck.
I think Jay has Path to Exile as well.
That's pretty good.
And that's going to really make this hard for Cody. He's going to want to play some of these threats, but now he knows he can't. It's right on the table. Don't do this. And of note, Displacer can't blink itself to save it.
No, it cannot.
So if Cody just fires up Vent, that's worst case scenario.
Yeah, he gets to path the event.
Yeah, he
Just like he is.
Path Vent. Jay takes 3, 4 total.
4 including his
and then he just
Canopy.
casts Ugin and kills the Displacer. And that's Jay sees the line.
Yeah. Jay very proficient with his deck. This deck, he's been playing it for a long time.
Mind you, he hasn't played a lot of green white.
Not the green white variant, but he's been playing Tron for a long time. So he's also playing Magic for a long time.
Kit Santh, I agree. I really like Jay's line here. He identified the worst case scenario and then identified that he is able to play around it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time you can't.
Another tower. There's Ugin.
Good luck.
This is probably just the game again. He's going to lightning bolt the Eldrazi Displacer.
It's just the fact that Jay was able to deal with the man land. That was the one thing that was really gonna
huge.
Threaten him.
Couple Chromatic Spheres after Ugin deals with the Displacer. Yeah, and this is a threat that Cody's deck cannot easily deal with.
That's interesting. I'm almost tempted to leave up the 4 mana to put a fate counter on Ugin.
Sure.
So that I don't have to go down next turn. I can go up one more turn and then ultimate it. But I defer to Jay on this deck for sure. He's a very skilled pilot. It looks like this is another Displacer.
Mm-hmm. Nope, it's Kataki. That's
not bad.
It's okay, but it's
the
not
problem
great.
is it's not going to get anything. The 1 mana effect and the fact that Jay can just sack both his Chromatic Spheres this turn means that Are those the spheres?
Yeah, those are spheres.
Are those the ones that don't need to be sacked?
No, star is.
Okay. I was gonna say if those are both stars, he doesn't even have to. It's like
Yeah.
free 2 draws. So I'll take these off.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Chromatic Sphere and Chromatic Star are essentially the same card. The big difference is Chromatic Star does not need to be sacrificed to trigger. As long as it goes to the graveyard from play, it still lets you draw a card. Whereas the Sphere, you must sacrifice it to draw a card. Jay just has all the mana.
Yeah. It's empty-handed, and that's gonna get pathed, but I just don't think that's enough at this point.
No.
The one thing that Death and Taxes really struggles with is putting damage on the table quickly.
There's our 100th follower.
Hey!
Tadsa757, thank you for following. Follower 100.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you guys. We appreciate it here.
You should get a tattoo.
There you go. You're number 100,
commemorate
buddy.
this.
Get that tattoo. You'll get yourself a 10% off discount code to top8gaming.com. So thank you very much for that. Now, the scary thing about... Okay, he gets to blink Ugin. I guess that's okay.
Nice.
It's this is important, of course, as Ugin's ultimate, you could say, is 10, which lets you draw 7 cards, gain 7 life, and put 7 permanents from your hand into play.
Yep.
Pretty solid.
Especially with Tron. A lot of those permanents are pretty scary.
Oh, very scary.
Don't know how much Jay's worried about this, though. And did it blink it?
I don't know what he blinked. If it wasn't Ugin, I don't know what it would have been. Super Unicorn 414, follower 101.
So close.
Came in a little bit short, buddy, but thank you for the follow. We appreciate it nonetheless.
We're gonna remember 101 too, though.
We are.
Don't you worry.
You're now in history as well, bud. You'll also get yourself a 10% off discount code to top8gaming.com. So thank you for following.
So it looks like
I have no idea what he.
is he flickering O-Stone?
That seems like not great.
No, Jay sacking O-Stone presumably with the
While Ugin's exiled.
yeah, or the land. I'm not sure.
I don't know what flickered here.
O-Stone would kill the Ugin.
Yeah, O-Stone should kill Ugin unless there was a fake counter on it that we didn't see.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
There might have been a.
Yeah, he might have just put a fake
No,
counter on
it looks like he did. He did flicker Ugin. It just
Okay.
the dice wasn't changed. There we go.
Well,
another Chromatic
So
Star.
what that did is it got the O-Stone out of the way at the cost of 2 creatures from Cody and nothing from Jay, except the O-Stone, and
Yep.
he still has an Ugin. Oh.
Oh, Swag Daddy coming down.
Well, it's going to be really hard to win when now Jay has doubled his life total.
Yep. And there's still an Ugin on board, pummeling you.
I mean, I think it's valiant for Cody to be sticking it out here, but those paths were just embarrassing all game long. And
They don't get better against the Thragtusk.
no, they really don't. I mean, he can path, and you know Jay doesn't have basics, but there's an Ugin on the table. And again, this is what we were talking about. And I guess I had a crisis of faith when Cody started out pretty strong in game 1. But it's just Tron.
Question the Tron.
Tron just overpowers so many decks, and if you don't have the optimal start as black white, you just don't do enough to combat them. You don't damage them fast enough. You don't disrupt them enough. Like the mana taxing is only really relevant until they have Tron lands online, and you just don't have answers to Planeswalkers. It makes me wonder if this deck should have boarded answers to Planeswalkers, because watching these 2 games, some decks actually have a little bit of play against like a card like Ugin. Not a ton, obviously, but it's questionable depending on the meta of whether or not you want to affect like Hero's Downfall. I don't know. It's just been watching this game. It seems so rough for Death and Taxes when it has to stare down a Planeswalker. And I'm wondering if it's even any better against something like Liliana, Even if it's a 3-drop, it seems like it would be tough for this deck to beat. And maybe that's just a fatal flaw in the deck and, you can't address it. Maybe it's just really hard to deal with Planeswalkers.
It has a lot of hand interaction. So I think part of it's going to be to fight the hand before it comes into play.
Well, I'll buy a lot, dude. I think it's just Sculler, isn't it?
Sculler, Thought Knot's here. I think there's some...
Well, Thought Knot doesn't get it fast enough unless you're on the nut start.
Sure. Okay. That's fair. So there goes the Thragtusk
Yes.
and his beast.
Cody's just slogging through this, hoping for some kind of miracle. Maybe Jay has a card in his deck that loses him the game somehow.
Yeah, maybe he just like drops a phage into play somehow. Here's
Sometimes
a
you
little
accidentally
arbiter.
do that.
Yeah, this is probably going to be where we see the end, though. Jay's going to get to -10 this Ugin.
-10.
Also, he's actually going up. Just says no.
I think this is fine. I mean, Cody's top decking. There's no one card that kills this Ugin.
Yeah,
The only bad thing that can happen is a Flicker Wisp, and that's not even bad. You just up it again.
yeah. Ghost Quarter.
It gets rid of Tron.
It does take off Tron. Jay only has the one copy of the Mine in play.
Unfortunately, Jay has, 8 mana in play.
Yeah, just naturally. It's pretty good, too.
I think he's going to go for it now.
Yeah, I think now you probably just go for it. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, this is a fun ability to see resolve. I'm so glad that Cody's he's like a little Reed Duke in the way that he's just never given up,
Yeah.
And I admire that. I think that you do win some number of games with that mentality.
Sure.
But again, I would have scooped this up 5 turns ago.
Yeah. So let's see what Jay gets to put into play. He has the option now to put 7 permanents into play. Spellskite is 1.
Another Ugin.
Another Ugin is 2. A Chromatic Star
I
is
think
3.
Ulamog, he's just slow
4,
rolling it. Wait for it.
5.
It's coming. I feel it. I guess you can just cast it.
Yeah, you can cast it.
You'd rather just cast the Ulamog.
Yeah. So a new Ugin. Pretty good.
Yeah, Ugin finding Ugin is pretty sweet.
And those were my Ugins before.
The foils?
Yeah.
Very nice.
I was missing the lands for my Foilatron deck.
Are you
I'm
gonna
a little-
Are you gonna bring it back? All foil?
Oh no, God no. No, I learned my lesson there.
Oh yes.
Just hard cast Ulamog.
Black Source Temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it goes.
You have some white mana. You've used 3 Path to Exiles, so good luck.
Path.
No
Come
way.
on, do it.
Oh, that's an Aether Vial.
Uh,
Well, Cody fought valiantly.
is Cody gonna let us see an Ulamog attack on camera as well?
I hope so.
This is quite the board Tron has assembled.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You don't often
Path
see.
doesn't even have a Spellskite and play to block the path. That's great.
Fantastic. Jay had all the bases covered. Ancient Strength just in case.
Wants to have Tron on line when he wins. Oh, he doesn't even find it.
That's pretty unlucky.
Friendly.
That's pretty unlucky, man. I feel like he found a map.
He's got a
If he
Wargaming
wanted it.
instead. He just wants that. Sure. Why not? Attack for 10. Exile the top 20, please.
Let's get a look at how Cody boarded. So far, I'm seeing all the main. Oh, Blessed Alliance? What is that for? I guess the Ulamog.
Sure, it's sacrifice, right? So-
Yeah. That's kind of a little heads up sideboarding plan, knowing
Yeah.
that Tron only really attacks with big threats. It's never
Yeah.
attacking with a.
Well, I mean,
You could have attacked with Spellskite.
yeah, if the other player sniffs at it, you can always attack a Spellskite just as a heads up. Cody's at 1 with an Aether Vial on 1 and 3 planes. And 1 card in hand. This has to be a pretty big card.
Path, and Jay forgets he has a Spellskite. Well, why don't you chalk that in?
You did actually have the option. You need to have the 2 left to pay for it.
Oh, he found
Oh.
Tron!
Just draws Tron at the end of the game.
Oh, how lucky. And I thought Cody was coming back.
Here comes another attack. I feel if Jay had the option, he would decline to deal damage here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, if he has Path in hand just for style points, Path throw in a lower before damage happens. Just do it.
Oh, decked out.
Style on him. Come on.
No deck, no hand, no life.
Just style him.
This is the way you want to win Magic. Cody, move to the life pad to take the damage here. I'm at -9.
So congratulations to Jay. Take